The rejections are really starting to get to me. I have worked from home in one capacity or another for over 15 years. I have multiple years of experience in customer service, and I have multiple years of experience in other types of client-facing applications. I have sent out no less than 125 applications, resumes since mid-October 2023. I am one of the probably few that does check back with these multiple applications when it's possible. Sometimes I've found this not simple to do. I suppose I am here venting. I'm really just getting so down. I do follow multiple subreddits, and I know there are so many of you that are also feeling really down about this same type situation. I am just gonna keep plugging away, but this afternoon I have decided a glass of wine beats another application. Speak up if you feel me. Have you tried insurance companies? Various friends had success with Anthem, United Healthcare, Allstate, etc. United Optum is absolutely massive and mostly remote. They would be a good option if OP hasn't tried yet. How much do they pay? United Optum is under a hiring freeze and doing layoffs. They're shipping jobs overseas as fast as possible. My sister works there and told me everyone she knows is trying to get away. A lot of jobs are going overseas. Why pay Americans when they can pay cheaper labor? And why is that just accepted as fact? I don't have a good answer, but one of my parents worked from home doing medical transcription, and more than once the company laid everyone off and moved jobs overseas. One time they had to train the overseas employees and the quality of work was terrible. This has been going on for decades. This is happening at my company right now. They even had us help train the overseas people before we found out they'd be taking our jobs. What type of work do you do? Right now I'm in tech recruiting. So overseas is taking over. Sad face. Removed. 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 Lawmakers don't care. They could easily impose steep taxes on every overseas worker they employ, but instead they allow more H-1B visas and more jobs to go offshore. They do care though. They care about themselves. Because when these corporations use cheap labor they make more money, and when they make more money, that money gets donated to campaign funds of those same politicians who write laws to benefit said corporations. It's all a malicious plan of theirs. Every time I call someone, it's someone from another country. Why pay a salary? The only real downside to remote work is more competition, and there is always someone that will do it cheaper. Shit, I just applied for them today. If there's a hiring freeze, then why are these job postings up? Doing what though? I've applied to a couple of positions with UHG in the last few months, both rejected. Confused face. Currently dealing with the fallout of a 20-something supervisor at UHG who doesn't understand ADA laws. You don't want to work there unamused. I've also applied to some of their roles and been rejected every time. However, this most recent time they said my app is under review and they will reach out with next steps, but it's been a week, so IDK? Ooh, that's definitely a plus. Best wishes to you. What salary are you aiming for? State Farm is hiring and a friend told me it was an easy process with fast responses. Deleted. Some positions are most definitely remote while others are hybrid, very few fully in office roles. I feel you 100%. It's a roller coaster of emotions. When I lost my job I was so sure I wasn't going to be a lifer in the job seeker role. Here I am going into month 10 with a resume that impresses, education, experience and results to back it up. In the last 30 days, I've landed 8 interviews, some for jobs with multiple steps, which is more than the previous months. I'm still on the running on 4 of those jobs. Here's what changed. Gonto the Resi AI Reddit. Grab yourself a free professional account. Create or upload your resume. Run it through their ATS. It gives you formatting and line-by-line analysis. Make suggested changes. Then for each job, run a copy alongside the job description for the role. It will point what is good, bad and ugly. Tweak it till your score is above 90 and submit. That gets my resume to the top of the heap. I've noticed it's especially helpful with Workday and Greenhouse platforms. Then interview prep. Do not try to wing it. Practice in Rezi. You upload the job description and it will analyze and ask questions geared towards the job description and company, industry. Make notes. Interviewers want the star format for responses. Give it to them. For the tell me about you at the beginning of interview. Do not recap your resume. Create a 3-minute response that identifies who you are in relation to the job. Example. I'm a customer service professional with 15 years experience in call center management. I'm a data-driven leader who utilizes KPIs in combination with training and coaching to develop high-performing teams. In my most recent role, I managed a call center with 5 supervisors and 75 agents producing an average CSAT score of 96 across all teams. I'm excited about the opportunity to drive results, insert company name, and really looking forward to our time together today. Can you please link the subreddit you're talking about? R-Rezi. Here's a sneak peek of R-Rezi using the top posts. https://np.reddit.com/r/rezi/top/sort equals top and t=year closing parenthesis of the year. Number 1. Rezi Lifetime Giveaway Upgrade Form. https://airtable.com/shreruchun6sinmu closing parenthesis. 0 comments. https://np.reddit.com/r/rezi/comments/14p9mgf/rezi_lifetime_giveaway_form/closing Number 2. Lifetime account requires credits.
https://np.reddit.com/r/rezi/comments/1708brg/lifetime_account_credits/closing parenthesis net per 30.
Example in comments. https://i.red.it/ac5dz0t7kb1.png closing parenthesis. 6 comments. https://np.reddit.com/r/rezi/comments/160sx7n/resume_sharing_to_text-based/closing parenthesis. Dash 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 dash. Carrot carrot on carrot carrot on carrot carrot ba. Carrot carrot date carrot carrot boop carrot carrot. Carrot carrot down the carrot carrot the carrot carrot remove carrot carrot. Carrot carrot contact. https://www.reddit.com/message/cafe/carrot carrot edge https://np.reddit.com/r/sneakpeekbot/closing parenthesis ***** https://np.reddit.com/r/sneakpeek/com Thank you. You can also directly email at hello@rezi.io with the email of your Rezi account and I'll be able to upgrade it faster. If there isn't an associated account with the email, you won't get an upgrade. Thanks for this. Thank you for taking the time you did here. I really appreciate it. Self-Made Millennial on YouTube also has a great channel for interview prep. I followed her tips and got a promotion, which translated into a $30,000 pay raise. Is this an ad? These jobs are getting outsourced left and right. Literally every time I call anything, someone in another country picks up. Yep. And our gov not gonna stop it. I mean, why should they stop it? It's fair game to outsource these positions emo. My only frustration with getting a foreign customer service representative on the phone is the occasional language barrier. Don't you want more jobs in the US economy? Any person deserves a fair shot at obtaining a job, regardless of geographical location.
though it is exploitative of companies to pay foreigners less.
That is the real problem here, not the outsourcing itself. I disagree. When people in US are needing work, why does being in the US make them more deserving of a job? If the same job can be done from any location, well, we pay taxes that support the operations of the corporations that are sending jobs overseas.
Protectionism usually isn't a great strategy.
So you think it's okay for people to lose their job? I have mixed feeling about it. I'm just saying, protectionism can have negative consequences overall. We try to sometimes implement hefty tariffs on certain imports to help specific US industries, sectors. Guess what? Those countries will also do the same on our exports. We tell China, okay, we're gonna start charging 18% duty on certain electronics. And they respond with, okay fine. We're gonna ban the import of certain US produce.
Then there's a constant back and forth.
I'm not saying there's nothing to be done. I'm just saying it's not as simple as declaring, sorry, you can no longer move these jobs overseas.
There's always consequences that come along with that.
So like for call center jobs, when I call my health insurance and things like, it's frustrating.
Yeah, but it's darn near impossible to find a remote job at this point. Don't get down on yourself, even the crap CC remote jobs get a ton of applicants.
If the job is posted on a popular job board, expect thousands of people to apply.
Maybe find a non-remote position that hopefully one day can lead to remote?
Just trying to think outside the box. Sometimes remote jobs on Indeed show 150K applied for it.
Those numbers only count how many clocked it to learn more.
Not actual applicants.
Don't get me wrong, the number of applicants for each job is still significantly high, but you have to play the numbers.
And playing the numbers doesn't mean randomly applying to 100 jobs. I tried that approach of throw everything at the side of the bar and see what sticks. It didn't work out well for me. I didn't start seeing results until I made sure I was aligning my resume to each and every job description.
At first it's a little time consuming, but it'll become so easy and quick and you'll start landing more interviews. Millions of us worked remote in 20 and 21, now many of those are being told to go in office. So many are refusing or can't, and flooding the market with people who need or want to work from home.
A lot were office workers like me. For 25 years I worked in offices but finally got a chance to work from home. I won't go back at any salary. People who are committed to only working remote can't complain about not finding a job.
Vast majority want remote out of convenience, not necessity.
Those doing it for convenience are crowding out those who need it. Selfish. Need it?
Yeah, sorry, no one is going to say, oh well, I guess I'll just make my life worse to increase the chances of that guy who's too anxious to step outside his house.
What about those with epilepsy, if they're in an area with limited public transportation? 1/26 people have epilepsy, 1/10 people will have a seizure. My point is, I'm not going to look and compete for remote jobs just because others need them more. Once again, selfish.
That's okay. It's not against the law or anything.
It's not like if I give up my job they're gonna say, let's go hire someone with epilepsy. This carrot. It's not selfish to try to find the job that is right for you.
It's not like I should give up my remote job so some soul someplace somewhere can get it.
Dude.
Took me 6 months to find another remote job after the last one I had laid me off after 5 years.
I was about to give up, but right when I was running out of time I got hired. Don't give up.
Exact same thing happened to me.
I was panicking because I never had to wait so long to get another job. It was so stressful, basically burned through all our savings. Luckily got a job interview today. Awesome news.
I hope you do wonderfully.
Bring on the wine.
Sometimes it's very hard to get back to someone when you're trying to because there's no specific person.
Government jobs seem to be this way.
You are so right.
I was feeling this way in December.
Hit my breaking point and my mental health, which is normally fantastic, was suffering.
I lost my job of 15 years while on maternity leave last June.
It was a hybrid role and I really wanted a remote position because my 3 kids are all different ages, with the 2 older ones being very involved in many sports and my middle child's bus only coming at 8:40 a.m.
I finally started focusing on local jobs back around Halloween, and I did find that a lot of them were remote or hybrid, even though not advertised that way. I got way more interviews this way. Health insurance companies have a lot of those. I finally got a job this week with a local company and it's hybrid but has flexibility, and it sounds like I can be at home more once they get to know me better. Others are home full-time. An important lesson can be learned here. Sitting at home and just applying for remote jobs on a job board and you miss out on a ton of local opportunity that just doesn't advertise their openings on those job boards. Well, they were advertising their openings, but listing them as in person. So I just applied for them anyways and figured if I got an interview, I would figure things out from there.
That's a great way of going about it.
Good luck.
Jobs are out there.
You have to be diligent, as it seems you are.
How's your resume looking?
Are you customizing your resume for each job you are applying for? How are you differentiating yourself from the other 1,000 applicants for each job? Keep trying, you'll eventually land that dream job. I do customize my resume and cover letter for each job. I asked ChatGPT to make it AST-friendly as well. I am actively applying for jobs that fit my skill set. I do believe I will try visiting the Resi subreddit as was suggested above. I appreciate you commenting here, too. Today is another day, right? It sounds like you are doing the right things. There is just much contention for jobs, remote or otherwise right now. Good luck in your continued search. Use a free tool to figure out the hiring manager's email or phone number and reach out directly. I can relate. I have been aggressively applying since August last year. I got a first interview with my dream organization in November, then a second interview in December that I felt went incredibly well. Lots of friendly conversation, and I felt confident.
Just found out 2 weeks ago I won't make it to 3rd round interviews.
It's exhausting. I hope you have a restful evening despite this pink heart. I really relate. Sorry to hear that. I feel like I've been applying for jobs close to a year now. This has just happened this morning with me, too. I was really hoping that my second interview I had on Tuesday was going to be ME. It was not, the dreaded, "We have decided to move forward with another candidate." Email came a few minutes ago. I'm an expat living in Mexico for the past 2 years. People forget there are tens of thousands of people down here as well that can live on much less than the US. Same. I've been trying to switch jobs, but being an expat I can only do remote. It's hard out there. So I'm stuck with this job I've been for the past 7 years. I'm actually blessed in that I not only live in an area with a lower cost of living, but I own my home and vehicle free and clear. Although depending on the next election I may sell and join you and the other expats down there. And work on USD. Cheat code. I have applied for many jobs. I have management experience and an associate's degree.
Nothing, I think it's being 56.
I don't doubt that ageism may be at play. I covered my gray for my video interview recently. I somewhat get this because I'm 24 years old and recently out the military so far, and I've been turned away due to not having enough experience or knowledge even though I have prior civilian jobs. Skeptical smiley face. I'm sorry, that's gotta be super discouraging.
I don't understand why people swear up and down that remote jobs aren't going away. To hold out if you really want a remote job because remote jobs are plentiful, blah blah blah.
I mean, I understand wanting to work from home, but I read the room. More and more employers are demanding RTO or at minimum a hybrid arrangement with a set number of days, per week or month, required in office. I agree remote jobs won't ever go away completely, but we'll never again see the huge uptick in remote jobs that COVID caused. At least not anytime soon. Woman shrugging. I've done 200 since September and I've got all rejections too.
It's so frustrating at this point.
I have 10 years customer service experience. We are definitely in the same boat. 125 resumes since October? Those are rookie numbers. Not if you actually put time into it. Plus, people have lives and can't spend hours upon hours on applications. If you're unemployed, you should treat finding a new job as your new job. Yep. That's what I'm doing, but life still exists, LMAO. I'm not going to drop everything and spend 6 to 8 hours a day applying for job after job because of a shitty job market. It's exhausting. Greater than I'm not going to drop everything and spend 6 to 8 hours a day applying for job after job because of a shitty job market.
Guess you don't really need a job then.
Jesus. How lucky are you to half-ass looking for a job?
It ain't half-ass.
It's exhausting.
Y'all can go back to being lazy and doing nothing else but sitting in front of the computer then. It's literally unrealistic to sit in front of a computer all day. We shouldn't have to anyways.
It should be easier to get a job. Would you drop everything to work your 40 hours a week job? If so, then that's the hours you should be putting in at minimum for your next job if you are unemployed. Yes, even if you put time into them. It's been 101 days since October. 125 applications is only 1.2 applications a day.
That's not a lot of effort now, is it? Have you gotten any interviews? This is so frustrating.
I actually did. I've gone through a few rounds with a couple of different companies and I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. In a way, I kind of feel like it is my accent.
I am from the South and I sound really country.
I'm educated and I speak educated, but I sound like a hick, so I'm kind of thinking that has something to do with it. That's so awful if your dialect is being used against you.
Probably dodging bullets if not hired by those companies, but I know each rejection hurts. You sound very dedicated and motivated to scoring that perfect job, and I know it's coming for you.
Have you thought about not applying to anything for about a week to kind of recalibrate?
Sometimes I take a few days to regroup from my sheer frustration, then feel re-energized in my job search. IWFH now, but my RTO is coming and I am dreading it, so I'm actively searching too.
Good luck, op. I feel the same. At least we have each other. Have you thought about getting certified in like medical billing, coding, or something to give you an edge? I am in the same place since August 2023.
Keep trying and working on yourself. Think that's all we can do.
Best of luck to you, friend. I totally feel you. I've been applying since July for a remote admin position. I've gotten interviews but no offers. I'm working a part-time job and I'm so over it. It's driving me mad.
Don't let it get to you.
The workforce sucks. You have to know somebody.
Go find somebody by whatever means necessary. LinkedIn maybe.
Utilize whatever contacts you may have. It is the only way unless you want to beat out 100 people. Your odds go down every time someone applies.
I know nothing about customer service, but find an edge by any means necessary.
More so ganja for me.
Which is crazy because I'm broke. But we have to pass a drug test, so no way.
Lol. I've applied to over 100 since last fall too. 5 interviews.
0 offers.
Just keep plugging away.
Oh man, I feel ya.
Today's another day.
The weather here is good today, so I'm cleaning chicken coops and the bunny hutch with Mother Nature and a good dose of vitamin D to boost my spirits, then back to the hunt.
It took me 8 months of applying. Everyday look of triumph. Keep going, you'll make it. Thank you. I'm so happy you found a spot. I'm sure my time's coming. It's super competitive right now in the remote space. I suggest considering hybrid roles. Most remote roles receive thousands of applicants. Try to set alerts so you apply as soon as the job is posted. I applied for over 120 jobs and had 12 interviews before I landed a hybrid HR role. Meanwhile, I'm upset because I can't get an office job. On the same boat as you, in the accounting field. I wish you the best of luck. I keep hearing these are extremely tough times in the job market.
For remote or for jobs altogether?
I am remote now, but there isn't much opportunity to advance since they implemented a return to office mandate.
So I've been applying a few places, finally getting interviews, but the rejection sucks, that's for sure. AI and useless HR recruiters are killing the traditional application process.
Work with a recruiter. Wouldn't have recommended it before, but my wife did recently and landed an amazing, high-paying remote work job. Would you say that the best way to find a recruiter would be on LinkedIn?
So that's one way.
They're motivated by money, so it's a win-win.
My wife reached out on the Facebook group for our town with her resume and also got a ton of leads too. They didn't work out, but it was very valuable.
AKA your local mom and dad's groups. Lots of hiring managers in there most likely.
Have you looked at hybrid jobs, local to your area? My company will list remote jobs as hybrid, because listing them as remote will get thousands of applicants, and the managers just don't want to sift through all of them.
So they list them as hybrid to cut down on the number of applicants. Technically, the jobs listed are hybrid jobs, because you will have to go into the office once or twice a year, to get your laptop and headset, or to get technical help, like when a corporate security update messes up your computer. But really, it's mostly remote. Unfortunately, my department isn't looking for customer service or service desk positions at the moment.
I work as a government contractor.
I have not, but I will now.
Thanks for the tip.
It's tricky, because the job listings won't indicate that it's a mostly remote job.
The managers only reveal it at the interview.
This is actually how I stumbled upon my last 2 remote jobs. Dude, be lucky you ever even had one of these jobs, LMAO. I just applied to one with TSI Transworld. I would love for a full-time job remotely in my home. I've never tried that hard. Here I am trying again. I totally used AI to kill this interview, which was ironic as it was done by AI lol.
Anytime I or someone I know contacts support or customer service, it's always a foreign person.
So good luck to us. Hi. Op. I sent you 2 messages. 2 because I wasn't sure if the first one went through. I hope you got them.
You gotta up those numbers, apply to at least 100 a week, and eventually you will get interviews.
I'm being serious. You have to account for some of these positions are evergreens roles, not actually hiring, posted for contractor conversions, and then maybe 10% of them are true to form openings. It sucks, but getting hired is a numbers game. A recruiter.
The bottom line is that job seeking is a full-time job.
I said what I said.
If you're hitting apply and uploading the same resume to every single job without tweaking it to each job description, you are going to get nowhere pretty fast. Each job description is literally telling you what exact skills they need to see on the resume for consideration.
If you hit 4/10, you're not getting an interview.
Most times, if you are applying within your skill set, these are simple things that are easily added to enhance your resume for that individual job. As I mentioned a previous post, I am a huge advocate, non-paid, for using a program like Resi.ai because it really helps you level up, prep for interviews, and gives your resume polish for grammar, formatting, punctuation, and it even calls out ambiguous catchphrases or statements that add no value.
On top of this, it gives you suggestions for additions, replacing and enhancing your resume, and with the new interview tool grading you on how you respond during an interview. I cannot emphasize enough the need to practice your interviewing skills. I am a firm believer that 9 out of 10 people cannot wing it when it comes to these interviews. Hiring managers are looking for specific information from you, and they want it in a star format for behavioral questions. They want value answers for technical questions. They want to hear numbers and percentages. They want to know how you drive results, what data you use when making analytical decisions. Ambiguity won't cut it because the next person interviewing will come prepared. I literally created index cards in a star format last month. I keep them at my PC to refer to inconspicuously, with keywords and numbers to jog my memory under stress and keep my answers clear and concise. I practice answering questions in 3 minutes with full and concise info to demonstrate my abilities, and this has allowed me to stand out as I'm able to move through more information succinctly. 2 interviewers last week commended me on my preparation and how thoroughly I answered and negated need for probing follow-up to get info.
Both escalated my candidacy and one scheduled my 3 and 4 interviews back to back to get me through the process faster.
I created a 3-minute value-packed introduction that includes results-oriented data in response to, "Tell me about yourself." At no time do I mention education level, job history or responsibilities. I don't review my resume for them, they've already know that about me. Instead, I focus on what exactly makes me the best candidate for the role.
The responses from hiring managers has been tremendously positive.
I only started the above 7 weeks ago and the results have been game-changing. I'm currently juggling candidacy for 4 remote management positions.
The numbers are on my side. This follows 8 months of ugly crying, depression, insomnia, crippling anxiety, and feeling of inadequacy in every aspect of my life.
I'm working way smarter now and it's paying off. Great tips. I do tweak my resume and cover letter to match my skills with what they are seeking. I do love the tip about my interview answers, though. I do practice. However, the index cards is something I'm definitely going to implement. I have a stack of them already, so I plan to do that right away.
Thank you so much for your input.
I just sent you a message.
If you don't like any such job, then you should try social mining once. Greater than I have sent out no less than 125 applications, resumes since mid-October 2023.
That's like a little over 1 application per day.
That's not a lot.
When I was job hunting last year, I was sending 5 to 6 applications per day with cover letters and using ChatGPT to help hit keywords and bullet points. It was time-consuming, but I got a job.
Yes, some days do become errand, chore days.
I have a small homestead and greenhouse and grow some of my own food.
Other days I do treat applying to jobs within my skill set as a FT job, tweaking each resume and cover letter to the specific job I'm applying for.
Those days I will place 6 to 8 applications, resumes.
Just in my feels yesterday and today is a brand new day.
I am so jealous of the homestead and greenhouse homie.
Just get 4 chicks. In 2 years' time you'll have full homestead fever with multiple coops and gardens and, if you don't watch out, a goat.
I definitely feel you.
I am getting interviews, 2-3 times, it's always the last one that tanks me. To get so far to be that close.
I have had one really bad day. Ended up fetal on the floor for a few hours, not fun. But I've picked myself up, now I'm looking outside my current career field to see how I can transfer skills. I'm also older, closer to 60 than 30. I'm really missing the cocaine days of debt collectors. Tears of joy.
Well, then, we are definitely paddling a similar boat.
I'm also closer to 60 than 30. For my video interview that I had earlier this week, I actually covered the gray on the sides that I feel just screams that I'm of a certain age, with that spray on root cover-up spray. Lol. I shaved my bushy white beard, still blonde red on the top but the beard is white lol.
Have you tried cruise lines?
MSC and Norwegian are currently hiring. Princess, Carnival also have remote positions. In my experience, the peak hiring months are April to August. Since you started in October,
it might just make sense to send less resumes now and instead send them out when we get closer to April.
In the meantime, find whatever you can. Just an idea.
I completely understand what you are going through right now.
I worked for the same company for about 4 years doing a variety of positions from warehousing to IT and even sales. Then, they up and closed down a few years ago. Since then, I went freelance, contract in IT, as a project manager, taking what I could get for whatever pay came around.
About 2 years ago, I got a solid 1-year gig with a decent company and loved having the consistency. Then the contract ended, and the company laid off 5,000 employees overnight.
In the 12 months since that, I have done everything from 1 application a week, making sure it was a perfect fit, to 10 a day in a scatter method. I was avoiding doing work outside of my norm because I didn't want to waste any opportunities that came up.
As of 2 weeks ago, I was offered a new role.
It is a 25% pay decrease from previous, but it is W-2 with a good company.
I cannot tell you how excited I am to both be back at work but also in my field. I had ups and downs throughout the experience, and sometimes, it was all I could do to get up in the morning. But here I am, working again.
Just keep it up. Even if you only get to look at one job a day, look at that one. If you can look at 10, look at 10.
Just never stop trying. That is key.
Do something different. I personally wouldn't want to hire someone who's doing the same thing over and over not getting results. I want to hire someone that's creative, experimenting, iterating, etc. Too many people think they are entitled to WFH.
It was a necessity due to COVID. But WFH is an earned perk.
I WFH 4 days a week. I've had the same employer for 15 years. I report directly to the CEO who I've known for just as long. I paid my dues commuting to an office every day for over a decade. And I'm in sales and I perform, so my work literally keeps the light on at the corporate office.
So when I asked my boss to WFH 4 days a week, he didn't balk for a second. Because I had earned it and my role is revenue producing, he knows he doesn't have to worry about me. If you want to WFH, be a revenue producer, earn it, then ask.
You'll get the answer you want. I let my top salespeople work from home.
They earned it. Supply and demand. Be in demand.
I can't easily replace those folks. I can easily replace a customer service representative that wants to work from home. I feel this loudly crying. I am feeling discouraged. I am sober now, so nothing to do except be sad in my lil corner, tears of joy loudly crying.
Reality is starting to set in for many. Remote job opportunities, regardless of the wishful thinking of the WFH employee, are actually in decline right now. With most companies shifting their staff back to pre-COVID levels in the office and, like mentioned here, other WFH corporations moving some of their work overseas, I really do not see this trend changing soon. The healthcare industry has been having a tough couple years after Governor COVID funds ran dry, and they need to figure out ways to save money. You will not see any boom in remote hiring from them anytime soon. Sadly, in some cases, the thing that made your job the most convenient also made it a target for you, being replaced by someone willing to work for less than half the price. Have you tried American Airlines? I've checked Southwest but not American.
I'll do that tonight. Thank you for the suggestion. I know they may require on-site training, but I know they do hire remote reservationists and lead, supervisor positions a lot. Check out the builtin.com maybe. Seems like very different expectations for diff generations. As a Gen Z, 125 apps is like nothing. I expect standard amount to be 300 apps over span of 6 mo to get a few interviews. This is for the average person and AVG resume. For top 1% candidate, this would be a lot less. Try a non-remote job. Remote work is declining as tech companies leverage AI and a global economy. Sorry to say it, but I work in the space and talk to founders every day. PFFT. Get some sun, on your face especially. And don't take it so seriously. 500 applications since October 2023. Over 100 rejection letters. Cheers. Only 125? Haha, I've sent over 1K with few results, haha. The nature of the market right now. The problems are that you have to get past HR or a contracting agency that has no idea what the job actually needs. Then your resume has to be in the first 10 or so before the manager just gets tired of reading them. They get 1,000 applicants for every one opening, so if you are applying to jobs that were posted last week, you are wasting your time. It's a stupid numbers game at this point. You just apply to everything as soon as it gets released, and hope for the best. It's not a reflection on you, but a shitty system. Your best bet is getting a referral from someone who already works at place that you want to work.